Demand for sexual services means that human traffickers now view Northern Ireland as a lucrative market.
These are very dangerous individuals who see these people as purely a business commodity.
They are shattering the lives of dozens of vulnerable women here.
They don't care. It's just about meat, flesh, that's all.
But tonight on Spotlight, we examine a controversial new bill that has been proposed to tackle the growing problem.
I believe that trafficking is modern day slavery.
It would, for the first time in the UK, make it illegal for a man to buy sex in any circumstances.
I work all week, 40 hours. I can pay my taxes. I have some money, so I treat myself from time to time.
Earlier this year, the PSNI raided suspected brothels right across Northern Ireland.
Police! Search warrant! Stand still!
And what we discovered is that prostitution is occurring in every county in Ireland. We arrested a number of individuals who were involved in brothel keeping, and we recovered a number of people that I would have considered to be victims of human trafficking.
Estimates from the PSNI indicate that prostitution in Northern Ireland generates £25 million every year, making it one of the largest industries here. But it's one that very few of us ever get to see. You may think just because you don't see sex workers in your town or your city that they're not there, but there are various websites offering the services of women right across Northern Ireland. So, just how easy is it to book one? Of the dozens of women advertised, I spoke to 10, seemingly from various nationalities, all in Belfast, and all available to meet for sex. Your details off the website. I just want to know if you're free for a date tonight?
Yes, I'm free.
How much is it for an hour?
160.
160 for an hour, and is that everything?
Everything, yes.
Okay, so what shall I do? Shall I come to you? How does it work?
You come to me beside the Belfast Telegraph and I'll give you more details when you get there. Yeah.
Yeah, I called earlier. I'm near the Belfast Telegraph now.
Okay, my darling.
It was as straightforward as that.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, well, I came to where she wanted to meet. She gave me some further directions to where she is now, but obviously that's as far as we can take it. From making the call to standing outside the apartment took no more than 20 minutes. It shows just how quick, simple and easy it is to buy sex here. So profitable is the sex industry in Northern Ireland that it attracts prostitutes from all over Europe. Tonight we speak to people with very different experiences of the trade. Laura Lee is an independent escort who knows there is big money to be made here.
I can only speak from my own experience, and my own experience is very positive in the sex industry. It's a buoyant market and there's lots of demand, I'm happy to say, and I enjoy it too. Ireland is my homeland, so.
That demand is coming from men like Darren. Over the last 3 years, he has been a regular visitor to prostitutes in County Antrim.
I work all week, 40 hours. I can pay my taxes. I have some money, so I treat myself from time to time. If I'm not sleeping with non-escorts.
And is that how you see it then, as a treat that you've earned?
Not that I earned, but it's nice.
He estimates he has spent over £2,500 on prostitutes. He believes it was money well spent. What is it now that makes you go back again and again?
For the buzz. It's the privilege to get to meet girls of that high standard. You don't see them type of girls in town much. And if you do, you'd probably have to spend about £500 wine and dining them and giving them the charm and stuff. This bypasses that.
Because there are so many men like Darren here who are prepared to pay for sex, the PSNI say that Northern Ireland is now a draw for human traffickers eager to exploit that buoyant market.
They have seen that in Northern Ireland there is a demand from the men to purchase sex, and they will supply that demand to their marketplace. That, to me, it's not a very nice thing to say about our society in Northern Ireland, that there is this supply and demand cycle. I would estimate that in any one day that there's probably about 170 people working or advertised as escorts in Northern Ireland. Probably somewhere in between 50 and 60 of those individuals may display the indicators of being victims of human trafficking.
In the last 3 years, there have been over 40 victims of sexual trafficking recovered in Northern Ireland. They are often extremely traumatised by their experiences, and this means that we very rarely get to hear their story. But tonight we hear exclusively from the only victim of sexual trafficking in Northern Ireland to speak publicly. Sarah had moved to the UK, had a job, friends and family, her hopes and dreams in front of her. Then one day she was simply taken.
You just disappear in one moment, and you find yourself in an airport with people which you don't even know, and taken, just taken in a car and goodbye forever.
You must have been terrified.
Yeah.
Sarah believes that all prostitutes are effectively victims of rape and feels that the real story must be told.
Do you think the people in Northern Ireland understand what's really going on?
I don't think so. It's very important for people to know what is really happening up here. Probably there are over, I couldn't say a perfect number, but over 500 rapes a day in Belfast.
Do you think that any of the men that came to see you knew that you were trafficked?
Yes. They knew everything. They knew. They were speaking with them. They knew.
Did they care?
No. No, they don't care. Who cares? I was beaten because of them. I'm sorry to tell it like that, but they knew. They don't care. It's just about meat, flesh, that's all.
Sarah's experience is not unique. The PSNI fear that the real level of human trafficking in Northern Ireland could be double the official figures. In an attempt to address this horrific crime, DUP peer and MLA Maurice Morrow has proposed a groundbreaking yet controversial new bill.
I think it's setting out to basically do three things, or try to achieve three things. First, more support for victims, make more robust provision for the conviction of traffickers, and reduce demand for trafficking.
And it's his plan through what's called Clause 4 to reduce the demand for sex that makes this bill so unique, because almost all of the laws that currently deal with prostitution in the UK, like keeping a brothel or solicitation, target the seller or the prostitute and not the buyer. Although already illegal to pay for sex with a forced prostitute, in reality this law has proved very difficult to enforce, and as yet there has never been a conviction for that crime in Northern Ireland. This bill is designed to make things much simpler, because for the very first time it makes buying consensual sex also a crime.
There is a demand there, so we must tackle the demand, and that's what Clause 4 will do. At the moment, there are some people who perversely solve their conscience by saying, well, what I'm doing here, I'm not breaking any law. And I believe that if Clause 4 was legislation tomorrow, that would right away take out those who have a regard for the law. I believe it's needed, and I believe it is the real way of tackling human trafficking.
If the bill goes through, it would make men like Darren a criminal. If Lord Mora was sitting here now saying that he wants to make you a criminal, what would you say to him?
Good luck. I've done absolutely nothing illegal, and I'll continue to do so, no matter what.
Would this law not stop you?
Absolutely not, no.
Sex worker Laura Lee also believes the bill is misguided and it won't help those who are victims of trafficking.
To say that to do away with demand will do away with trafficking, I'm afraid, is erroneous. It's completely wrong. You simply can't do away with demand. Demand might deplete on a very small level, but in actual fact, what will happen is that you will push the women who do so badly need our help further away from those people who can help them. You're targeting the wrong group of people. You are targeting the people who are paying for and enjoying consensual sex, when really what we need to do is target the traffickers.